to all the ladies and gentlemen who are present here. So this is yet another series that we are connecting today, and this is a fourth series, last but not the least. And I welcome all the participants who are present here and taking out your time in your busy schedule. And this shows that how serious you are in your business. And during this three series, whatever we have completed, we have been receiving overwhelming responses from all the audience. And I request all of you to be present with us for next two series, just like the same. And today we encourage you to come up with a lot of questions, as many questions as possible that you can ask, because now we are left with only two series. And to start with, today we are connecting for a business plan construction plan 1. And as you all know, like we are conducting a couple of the series, and as you know, like we have completed most of the 3 successful series, and we have been doing a lot of case studies and everything. Do you all know, when we wanted to have a successful business and when we wanted to have a successful project in any of the organization or an association, we require a very strong support. How many of you are okay to commit with me that we require a very strong support to have any successful project? How many of you say we require a strong support? If you commit and if you agree with it, come to the chat box and type I. How many of you say that we require a lot of a support and as well as a positive support? Right? I see a lot of people who are committing that they require a lot of a great support. Okay, so with this, I would like to invite the person who is a very good support and a very positive support and a backbone for all the projects that we have been doing it in MIA. He is none other than Mr. Mir Abdul Hafiz, who is a founding secretary of a Muslim Industrialist Association, and he's graduated from BMS College of Engineering in 1988 with BE in Mechanical Engineering. And at the same time, he is an entrepreneur by himself, and he started a partnership firm called Universal Hands in 1988, manufacturing of a watch components, the watch hands, solid link brace, and the bracelets and the cases. And at the same time, he is the OE supplier and the key vendor for a Titan Company Limited, Hosur. And at the same time, he is also a founding secretary and the founding secretary of a MIA and the trustee for a Darul Ulum Mubarakah and the Mubarakah Public School. And as you know, it is not possible to run any successful project just with one person, and it is a very much important to have a right team. So with this, I have a very great and a powerful team that is powerhouse behind the seminar series. That is Brother Zubair, who is the event coordinator, and Mr. Mohammed Mas, who is a project coordinator, who is completely in support with you for the entire week for whatever the messages that you are doing, whatever the emails that you have, and whatever the queries we have. And I would like to thank all these 3 people and at the same time the entire MIA team for helping us to conduct this successful seminar, and also all the participants. And I'm sure without your support, we are not able to conduct any of the successful series. A big round of applause for all the people who are here. And me, Safina Naz, your host and the moderator for the day, I would like to welcome you for the business construction plan. So who am I? I'm a psychologist, coach, and entrepreneur. And I'm destined to inspire the world by facilitating the people to pursue their professional and the personal excellence, providing them the challenge and engaging environment to become a lifelong learners, achievers, and leaders. You can follow me on my Instagram, Facebook by name Safina Nas. And at the same time, you can follow us for the further details for MIA, and you can connect us in Facebook and as well as Instagram, so that you can get further updates on this. And as you all know, like we are all spending like almost like 2 hours every week. And at the end of the day, we always have a question: what is this entrepreneurship seminar series is all about, right? And when we ask ourselves, like, what is this startup entrepreneurship seminar series is all about? I always get in my mind, okay, so to start off any business, as we know, like, we have to have a strong support. Coming and understanding all these things in the journey of a 16 years of MIA, we have come up and we are conducting this seminar series. So what does this seminar series is all about? We help you in engaging the coach, compelling with the long-term investors, incubators, experts, and others. And at the same time, an experienced and the realistic coach draws a roadmap to achieve your goals. How many of you agree, like you have been attending this multiple series and today is the fourth series? How many of you agree that it is very important to have an experienced and the realistic coach who can draw the roadmap to achieve your goals? If you agree with this, and if you are here for that, I request you to come to the chat box and type, I am here to draw a roadmap. You can just give it as RM. Come to the chat box and type RM. The people who commit that RM, and we make sure that my team is behind this and they will be taking all the data and we will be here. I mean, we will be able to support you in terms of whatever is required. Yeah. And before I could go to the next point, I wanted to ask one simple thing. See, we have a different mindset of a people and a different category people, right? And when we wanted to go to the shopping, we always have the certain demonstrated people. Okay. So the first category of a people that we always find is, I wanted to go to the market. It's always better, before I could go to the market, I need to have a set of things listed. What is it that I wanted to buy from the market? This is the first category of a people. And we have another category of a people who says, it's okay, I don't have a list, and I go to the market and I see whatever finds it fresh, whatever finds it good, I will just pick it up, right? And how many of you can relate to option number one, and how many of you can relate to option number two? If you relate to option number one, type in the chat box as one. If you relate option number two, type in the chat box as two. Let me see the responses. Okay, two. And now my question is, who is right? Option one is right or option two is right? Option one is right or option two is right? Both? Amazing. Both of them are right in their own way. But why am I asking this question to all of you? It's very simple. Whenever we attend any sort of a trainings, whenever we attend any sort of the seminars or the webinars, we go with the mindset of openness, right? And it is also important, whenever you're going with any kind of a webinar or a series or anything, try to understand what is this all about and what is it that I wanted from this. Until and unless we don't have a clarity in terms of what is it that I wanted, then it becomes very difficult for all of us to understand what am I taking out of this seminar and what am I taking it out of this webinar, right? So if I have to give you a short answer for this, if you are here with having no idea what is it that I wanted you to think and look out this slide. Coaching provides a startup an environment based on experience. Your confidentiality shall help you lack of your awareness. And as we all know, it's a very simple example quoted by Mr. Gilani sir. In sports, coaching is required to improve one's game. Similarly, be it a startup, be it an entrepreneur, be it an established business, we need a coach. If you are here to hire a coach or to get an experience of a roadmap or to identify your goals, this is what is called as an entrepreneurship seminar series that we are trying to connect with, right? And as to avoid all of these things and reach to the real success in the journey of your entrepreneurship seminar and entrepreneurship journey, we at MIA have come up with a series of sessions and so forth. So far, we have covered design thinking, tear down options and solutions, business canvas model, and now we are connecting for business construction plan, right? When we are connecting for a business construction plan, I encourage all our participants to come up with as many questions as possible, because the more questions that you ask, the more we will be able to cover. Okay, the more questions you ask, we will be able to identify your problems and try to solve all your problems and give the solutions for those problems. Okay, I encourage for all of these things. And as you know, we have already declared what are all our 5 series that we have been doing. And in case if you want us to conduct more sessions, and if you have any topic in your mind, or if you have any challenge in your mind that you want us to cover that in our further sessions, please feel free to give your feedback. We would like to come up with those series in our further sessions. So I hope you got the clarity why entrepreneurship seminar series is all about, right? So now let me understand what is it in it for me, right? Why do I need to give 2 hours? What is in it for me? If you are thinking this, then the answer is this. If you are an entrepreneur, getting a good business coach could make a difference. But at the same time, making it great, it really matters a lot. Today, I was just going through one of the quote, which was just in the Instagram. What is a good lawyer and what is a great lawyer? So the answer someone had given was the good lawyer knows how to run the case and the great lawyer knows how to judge the case. So you identify what is it that you wanted. To help you make your mind, here is the advice from 2 entrepreneurs who are successful and who are right in front of us and who has created the results, is none other than, the first one is a Bill Gates of Microsoft, and he says everyone should have a coach. And the second one is Eric from Google. He says the best advice is I have ever got was a get a good coach. So who is your coach? Just check. Now, this is the 5 seminars series we are spread across, and today we are in the 4th one, business construction plan, and the 5th one is business plan construction 2, and we are giving you one of the complimentary, which is surprise. Stay tuned for it. Okay, and yes, so with this, I would like to call upon our eminent speaker, who is Mr. Jilani MKHH, who is an electronics graduate and alumnus of IMB, alumnus of SD Barcelona, Spain, and he's a strategic planning and a financial engineering expert and a thought leader, specialized in a strategic planning and the financial engineering investment, banking innovations, patent revenue, modeling, branding leadership, coaching and mentoring, proficient in M&A, PE depth syndication, re-engineering, new technology, innovation and interventions, project management and the growth for several business industry verticals. So what is it required for any business to be successful? We need investments, we need a coach, we need a planning, we need a growth, we need re-engineering of our existing business, and we need a tripwire for our current business. And we need to know what is it that we can do for our existing business to do it in a great way. So can you see the entire explanation and entire slide? He is coming up with having a great and a rich experience in all these domains. And without wasting much time, I would like to call upon Mr. Jilani, sir, and take it forward from here.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes, sir, we can 100% hear you.
Good evening. Namaskar. Assalamu alaikum. This is Jilani here, logging in for the 4th seminar. And so can I start sharing the screen, sir?
Yes, sir. Please, you may go ahead.
So back to the 4th session of webinar series of MI, a Beginner's Guide to Startup. Welcome all. If I'm right, last 2 weeks you have been having a lot of business canvas, feasibility, a lot of case studies going on. Now we are into the last phase of business plan. Now, business plan construction 1, this will be an introductory session. So we move ahead. A disclaimer on copyrights. Now let's do a recap. If I'm right, there are a lot of people, at least 20% or 25% of them join fresh every webinar. So I just want to do a 5-minute recap, a quick recap of webinar. The first one, ideation and design thinking. We were talking about our thoughts, 2,500 to 3,500 thoughts per hour. That's the power of our mind. We move into a stage gate development funnel where we get a lot of ideas, we pull them in, and then we filter out, then we do the feasibility, we do the viability, we do the SWOT analysis, and we prepare a business plan canvas. Then we come to the third stage where we prepare the business plan itself, and then we get into the launch. And the more important of late is design thinking, and it's human-centered approach to innovation that integrates the needs of the people with possibilities of technology and requirements for business success. I repeat, human-centered approach to innovation. Why I'm going on a recap every session is I want the whole webinar series to get integrated with your business and with your own self, with your thought process. Why design thinking? This is an important factor. Many new businesses fail. Starting a business or a startup is lot harder than most of us think. Very rarely business is in tune with its customers. Every month around 3+ crore new businesses start. Enormous number. Less than 2 years, 30% die. Less than 5 years, another 30% die. Yes, the only 25% which stand for 15 years, and then they also die. The big ones which go on more than 15 years are just 15%. They're just 15% which go on more than 15 years. And among these, only 5% make it really, really big. So just look at the numbers from 100% to only 5% success. Now let's understand why we need to get into this process. We spoke about design thinking. The focus was human-centric and empathy, customers' pain point, the importance of empathy, trying to understand the customer and you together become we, to see that we get into creating a fantastic revenue model which is profitable. Then recap of webinar 2, options and solutions. How do we identify opportunities? We have a huge world around us. Let's keep all our senses open and observations learning. Everywhere you just open your eyes, open your ears, and just get into the process where you can observe everything. Just take it. You have manufacturing, you have technology, you have paper, you have food, you have automation, you have stationery, you have water, you name it, everything around. You can see in every possibility there is an opportunity. Every area has an opportunity. Every area has an option to better and move to the next level. For any opportunity, success or failure, idea is 5%, execution is 95%. This is, I repeat, idea is 5%, execution is 95%. Let's look into the recap of webinar 3. We looked into a business canvas, and we looked into the feasibility and the viability. We looked into live, real-time startup case studies. Now, this was the business plan canvas, what we looked in. We had the value proposition, we had key activities, the whole structure structure is like that. As we move further, we looked into the Swiggy's model of business canvas. Now let's look into the business canvas, starting with value proposition. That is the focus of our business. That is the core of the business. That is what we are delivering. That is the product or service. What is that we are giving? That is the pain point and the gain point which we are delivering to the customers. We have the customer segment. They are the payer. The customer who uses the product and who pays for your focus area or for your product. We have channels, how to reach the customers, customer relationship. We just saw maintenance is the toughest job. Starting any business is easy, closing any business is easy. But maintaining it on a daily basis and growing it is the toughest job. That's what we realized now. Revenue streams, from where the money is coming from, why the customer is giving you money, what type of products we are giving, what type of after sales we are giving, what type of services we are giving. We went into detail and looked into the revenue streams, key resources, the people, funds, plant and machinery, many other resources, key partners, both internal and external, employees, external are the vendors, suppliers, value chain, who is going to support us, who is going to give us technology, who is going to do a joint venture with us. We need to look into the key partners, key activities, product or a service organization. What is that we are going to give? Are we producing the product or are we going to give the service? What are the activities we are supposed to do to see that all the above are completely satisfied, all the complete activities are done? More than that, the most important factor is the cost structure, the expenditure, which is very important. During a startup or a new business, every rupee saved is rupee earned. Now, feasibility and viability, these were the two important factors which we understood last time. Feasibility is how we can get the profit. Viability is how long we can sustain. Now, feasibility is to come out with the right product, right service at the right price and make a profit out of it. And continuing this business and maintaining it and growing it long time is the viability. Now, we have in the feasibility analysis, we need to look at the organizational feasibility, financial or market and market feasibility. We have got into the details last time. We further went into the SWOT analysis, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The easiest and the fastest analytical tool which we have is the SWOT analysis. You get an idea, convert that into a SWOT first. Then you get into a business plan, the business plan canvas. Then you get into the actual business plan. So the first step is the SWOT. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The whole focus is to convert weaknesses into strengths and add value, convert threats into opportunities and add value. The value is what we are focusing on. That is the value proposition we are delivering. We looked at the SWOT analysis of Samsung last time. Fine. And further, if I am right, with the new product launch, the strengths and the opportunities have grown for Samsung. A foldable mobile is coming. Now, part to feasibility, an idea, a business plan model canvas, a SWOT analysis, feasible or not feasible, feasible, if so, profitable, viable, if so, is it sustainable? Yes, these are the questions to be looked in before getting into a business plan. Then after the business plan comes the proof of concept and testing and launch. Now, we are into the stage of getting into the business plan now. Business plan construction, basically today we look into why, what, how. We answer all the questions in the business plan construction one. And in the next, we will get into the actual business plan template. How do we start a business off late? Let's understand that. How do we start a business? Please, all of you, put it in your chat box. Let's understand, how do we start a business? When do we start? Or at least, who are the decision makers and influencers for you to start business? You can put in the chat box. But still, let me continue on. Who are the ones who how do you start a business? Yes, we are influenced or suggested by our friends, relatives, outsiders. Hear and say, someone is making business, someone is doing really well, someone has started a new outlet, someone has started a garment shop, someone started a new app. That's how we look in. And we, most of the times, we go to our friends and ask, hey, I just want to start something new. Can you suggest me something? What is the potential? Then your relative will come and tell, I did this, I did that, and that is why I was able to reach there. And you also, in your city, you start this. That's the influence he gives as a relative or a senior or an experienced entrepreneur. Fine, he must have done in his city. But in this city, we don't know. There are outsiders. There is hear and say. You see someone prospering in the society because he is doing really well in that business. And because of that, you also try to get into it. Now, let's give a small example of the present time. We have a lockdown for the past 6-7 months, and it's pandemic times now. Now, of late, what I've seen is a lot of online grocery and food. One of the examples, there are many things which have come out. There are people who are manufacturing masks, there are people who are manufacturing sanitizers, there are people who are manufacturing PPE kits. That is in the health side which is going on. But from the common man side, because of the lockdown and pandemic, ordering food from home, ordering groceries to home, this has been a lifestyle in the past 6 months or so during the lockdown. Now, of late, because of that, lot of new startups have come up and new launches have happened of online grocery, online food, online delivery, online fresh. So many. Yes, the pandemic, let's understand, is not permanent. But when we are starting these businesses, we need to know who are there. We have big baskets of the world, we have Grofers of the world, we have Reliance, we have Amazons, we have Flipkarts, we have DMarts, we have Metros, we have umpteen number of big players and small players who are already established over 1.5 decades. What are the challenges? Yes, and change. Let's understand the times have changed. The way we do business has changed. Change is dynamic. Change is permanent. Let's keep this in mind. Change is dynamic. Change is permanent. And as we move with the change, we have challenges. Now, let's look into the pandemic. Pandemic is supposed to be not permanent. Let's understand that. The moment the day vaccine, so-called vaccine is announced, every human being who's sitting at home with masks or with sanitizers will take a dose of vaccine, come on the roads and start dancing. And he says, I'm back to normal. I'm back to normal. Fine. Then what will happen? Do you think he will stay back at home and keep ordering? No. When he comes back, it may take some 2 to 3 months. He will come back to normal. He will look into saving time. He will look in how he can move forward and come back to the normal. Fine. Now, let's understand. Let's evaluate do a long-term evaluation whether these online businesses, can they survive after the pandemic? We need to ask this question. there needs to be a long-term evaluation of these businesses. And also need to understand, will the supply chain be the same? The supply chain is being changed because of the policies of the government, because of the policies of the state and central government. You need to understand what is happening. So you just can't jump into the business and burn the money. Now, you can look into online and real. Earlier, there were real businesses with brick and mortar, and there were online businesses. Online businesses, other than the biggies, were not able to sustain. Now, they came up with a combination of brick and mortar and online. Now, if you look into Flipkart, at the back end, it has huge partners. It has huge stocks which are looked in. We need to understand brick and mortar outlets are there. Now, those outlets started getting integrated with online, or can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Okay, I think there was a connectivity issue, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sharing the screen.
You're on mute, Jilani bhai.
Okay, unmuted.
Yeah,
Can
please.
you hear
Yes,
me
now
now?
perfect.
Yeah, great. Okay. Now, let's come back. We were talking about the challenges and the change. Now, pandemic is temporary. Long-term evaluation is required. Supply chain challenges are there. Now, all the online businesses went into integrating with real brick and mortar, and a lot of brick and mortar started integrating online. Now, over a period of 1.5 decades, we realized that brick and mortar and online, both are important for online business. We need a fantastic technology in the front end. We need customer empathy. We need customer relationship. We need a huge, smart stocks which we have. Then we need to have a lot of store stocks which we need to have. We need to have a lot of partners to deliver. So a huge change happened in the whole logistics industry, in the whole retail industry, in the whole online business. Now, just because a pandemic has come, do you think can we start this business and stay long term and then succeed? It's a question mark. Now, all we need to do is we need a proper evaluation. Before we start a business, we need evaluation. Don't look at the short term. Now, why startups are failing? They are imitating existing successful startups or ideas or businesses. I repeat, imitating existing successful startups or ideas or businesses. No validation or feasibility check. No understanding of the market or the changing markets or the changing customer segments or the geography. No SWOT analysis and feasibility done. No different or newness in thinking. No design thinking or customer empathy. Of all of that, no patience or time for plan. Now, this is a pretty challenging time for all of us. And in these times, planning becomes more and more important because there are limitations and constraints of resources. Fine. Now, we need to focus on building up patience and plan. Now, let's look into thinking. If I'm right, in the first session, we spoke about these 4 thinking areas. Think different needs effort. 200% understanding of the problem and creative problem solving for bringing up fantastic solutions. You need to think differently. If you don't think differently, you cannot be creative, you cannot be fantastic, and you cannot create a unique selling proposition. Think opportunity. You need to have a strong understanding of customers' pain or gain. If you don't have a strong understanding of pain or gain of the customers, it is very difficult for you to exactly place the opportunity. Think new. You need to you need awareness of market and competitive product. Until unless you don't know what is the present market, what is the market which is going to move from this level to the next level, what are the products available now, what are the products coming into the future, until we don't understand the future of the market, the future of the customers, the future of the competitive products, we cannot think new and then move. We need to think values. You need to understand. There are a lot of startups who come telling, I will start, I will gain traction, I will reach at certain level, I will sell and go away. Those days of selling and going away was in the last decade, not in the present decade. Things have changed. The investors have changed. The organizations have changed. Today, before taking over any company, they will look in, is it like we need to buy or can we build? Is it economical to buy or to build? Can we reach the market strongly by building ourselves or by acquiring or the moving ahead? Do not start a business with the mindset of start, sell and go away. Very difficult now in the next term, next decade. So you need to have a desire to be in business or industry for long term and have a holistic approach, a win-win game. Even if you are in a position to sell or merge or someone acquires you, they still want you to be in the game. They still want you to be part of the organization until transition is done. Start thinking. When you start thinking vision, you can create a vision. Nothing happens until first you dream. The thoughts convert them into a dream. The dream moves into a vision of your organization or your startup. Think opportunities. When one door closes, another opens. Seize the opportunity while the path remains lit. Of late, what has happened is because of a lot of new normal, what we call it as change in businesses, change in requirements of the market, because of the lockdown, because of the slowdown, because of various changing dynamics, old opportunities are getting closed, new opportunities are coming up. Keep your eyes, ears, and mind open for new opportunities. To do something new, you should do something which you have never done in your life. To do something new, you should do something new which you have never done in your life. That is important now. You can't keep repeating with your own old thoughts, old markets, old opportunities, old skills. No. Everything you need to look at an opportunity in a new way. Now, let's look into the present scenario. I repeat, I am repeating again. Rarely businesses are in tune with its customers. I'm stressing this point. Every month, 3+ crore new businesses start. Less than 2 years, 30% die. Less than 5 years, 30% die. 25% stand for 15 years and die. 15% make it big, more than 15 years. Only 5% make it big. I'm repeating the present scenario so that you start getting little serious about and passionate about your business or your idea or your startup. Now, how to make it big? Big begins with a plan on paper. Start taking a pen and a paper and write down. Until you don't write, until you don't key in, until you don't create a document, until you don't convert your thoughts into paper and paper into action, you cannot move to the next level. From 0, it has to come to 1. It needs effort. For that, we need to plan, unplan. So please keep planning as the first basic foundation for your business. You need to understand during the planning process, you need to do research, you need to evaluate the market, products, technology, you need to look into the feasibility of the business or an idea, prototype it, test it, rework, tune it, rework on the product or service, again test it, make a complete proof of concept for more than 2 to 3 times before launching. You launch, you can reach your success. You can reach your final goal. You can reach your target and aim. Let it be short term or long term. Until you don't do a complete research, don't evaluate, don't look into the feasibility, don't prototype and test, don't get into real-time launch. I'm repeating, don't get into real-time launch until you don't complete this cycle. Now, if you want to get into this launch and reach the success, what is the foundation for this success? Never start a project until all resources are available, until you do a proper planning. This may be funny, but in real life, you will experience these. A little push in the right direction can make a big difference. It gives the momentum. Now, what momentum is nothing but a business plan, creating a plan of your complete project, of your idea, of your startup, of your business. Putting a plan itself is pushing and giving a right direction. That is the momentum what we require today. Do we need a business plan? Do we really need a business plan? I know everything. My father has been in business. My friend has been in business. I have worked in big corporate titles. I've worked with IBMs of the world, Tatas of the world, Birlas of the world. I have worked with Reliance of the world. I have been successful executive. Do we need it? Yes. You have been one of an element and a component of someone else planning. They planned fantastic. That's why you executed fantastic. They planned long term. That is why you were able to deliver long term. They had complete details. That is the reason you delivered in detail. Remember, you were part of the wheel. You did not create the wheel. So working for an organization is different. Working for yourself is different. Starting for your own self is completely different. So please understand, we need a business plan. A business plan gives your idea, brings it to reality. A lot of people don't believe in business plan, but it's a sincere request. In the past 4 weeks, what we have run the seminars, we have got so many business plans or business decks or presentations or even so many startups and ideas which have started 3 years back. They are under tough times today because they don't have a business plan. They don't have a focus. They don't have long term. They don't have backup. They don't have technology change. They are not ready for market change. 3, 4 years, 5 years they have started, but still they're there, small. They have not leveraged. They have not grown. They have not got momentum. Why? The reason is planning is missing. Today we are talking about more of planning, importance of planning. To convert your idea into reality, you need to create a business plan. You need patience for that. What is a business plan? It's a detailed, step-by-step approach to a great, successful start. I repeat, it's a detailed, step-by-step approach to a great, successful start. It's the beginning. It's the start. When you are if you are an athlete, you are called on the track. Then you are supposed to take position on the track. The moment you take the right position, the moment you give the right push, your win starts from there. Please understand. So the right start is the beginning of the success. Now let's look at what is a business plan. It is your eyes. Business plan are the eyes for the startup or an idea to come into this world of reality. Through your business plan, you can see your vision. Through your business plan, you can see your product. Through your business plan, you can see your success. Through your business plan, you can see 5-year, 10-year where you're going to reach. Through your business plan, you're going to create a $1 billion company. Now, your business plan are the eyes of the startup. How we can see the world by our eyes, your business plan, through your business plan, you can see your organization building up or your startup or an idea. Just look at the importance of business plan and planning. A good or a realistic business plan is half the win. Don't create all charts and statistics of the world. If I have to start a food business, you know how I count? I count in India, this is the population. In Bangalore, I have 1.3 crore population. And so many stomachs are there. In that 25% will eat out. That means around 25 lakhs is my market. In that, I will try to reach 5% of that. Please don't do Excel, mathematics, Google statistics, and put on your business plan. It is good to have an industry analysis and an industry view of how we can reach the potential, of understanding the potential of the industry. But that cannot be a base for your startup. That is not reality. Reality is, I'm staying in Jayanagar, I'm staying in Whitefield, I'm staying in Malleshwaram, I'm staying in Sadashiv Nagar, I'm staying in Koramangala. That geography is my reality. So you need to understand, whenever you are preparing a business plan, please be realistic. The moment you are realistic, you are half the win. Remember, any funding organization, any VC or an investor will look in whether this plan is realistic or not. Or is he giving a business school, B school presentation in the class, an industry evaluation? No, we don't want industry evaluation. Now, road or path for you to run on. The business plan is a road. Imagine in a forest, you don't have a road. You are entering a forest. Industry is a forest. Business is a forest. Market is a forest. You are in a forest, in the dark, in the night, without a road. How will you move? A road or a path, even a walking path in a jungle, if you have to see, is to get the moonlight, it is visible, you can run on it. In the same way, if you have a road or a path which is clear, which has light, which there is no hurdles, you can run. Business plan is nothing but a road or a path for you to run on. It gives you direction. It gives you which way you're going. You're going towards north or northeast or east or south or west, whichever direction you're going, it gives you direction. Instead, you may start your business. After X number of months or years, you may lose fuel. You may not have direction because the market would have got closed there. There will be a new market or a new product. The market would have changed. The technology would have changed. The customer requirements would have changed. You need to understand that. Business plan gives you a direction, a light for the new path. Why we need a business plan? First thing, let me put across, why we need a business plan is, it is to build own mindset of entrepreneurship in you. Entrepreneurship is not easy. Entrepreneurship is equivalent to passion, 100% living. How you breathe, the same way is entrepreneurship. You have to live that entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is not like 9 to 5 job. It is not like a coaching class. You are eating, sleeping, breathing, living passionately entrepreneurship. So for that mindset to bring in 100%, get absorbed in your business and try to get into that spirit of entrepreneurship, please build your own mindset. Business plan will help build your own mind. Establish performing realistic milestones. Establish performing realistic milestones. There should be some timelines. There should be some deadlines. You just cannot start a business and go on only planning for 2 years. No, you need to have a timeline. And it has to be realistic. Within this month, we are going to launch this. Within this month, this is the test. Within this month, we are going to go commercial. Within this month, this is the first geography. Within this month, we are reaching 10 lakhs. Within this month, we are reaching 30 lakhs. Everywhere you need to have a plan. And it needs to be realistic, supported realistically. Understand your, business plan is also required to understand your own idea or startup. Because you think this idea is out of the world. It's just great, but it may not be true. It's like there's a saying, every lady who sells curd in a village market says, my curd is sweet. But if you have to buy, then you have to taste it. Only when you taste, you will know which is the best. So the tasting is nothing but the planning. Understanding your own idea or a startup, for that you need to plan. There's no option. And how? Know your customers you want to serve. You may have a vague thought process of a customer. But when you go into the market is different because your understanding of the customer is as per your own perception. You would not have started your business or an idea or a startup with design thinking or empathy. When you launch the product, when the product or services fail, then you will realize that the customer's requirements are different from what I'm delivering. So to know your customer you want to serve, you need to put a proper business plan. You need to do proper customer market research. Analyze competitors' matrix. Until and unless you don't do a business plan, you will not get into a matrix of knowing who is delivering what product, which is the competitor for your product or service. Every entrepreneur thinks that his product or service is unique and only one in the world. It's not necessary. Even the best of the innovations, at any point of time, it is told that there are 7 people thinking of the same idea on this planet. There are 70 people who are trying to come up with a solution for the same problem. There are 700 people who are going to implement these products or innovation in different ways, and they would have failed. That's only one who will be true, or there'll be only 10% of that 700 who will execute out. So please understand, the market is huge, the competition is huge. You're not alone. Check feasibility, short term, whether am I making profit, and check at the viability. Can I sustain? Can I be there for long term? You need to check that. For that, come back to the business plan. Decide on the revenue model. From where the revenues are coming in. In the business plan canvas, we worked on revenue model. From where the revenues are coming. Why we need a business plan? Again, understand the risk factors to de-risk. The more risk factors you are able to know, the more de-risk you can do, the more backup plans you can do, the more technology you can bring in, the more financing, the more experts. You can go on de-risking every factor. if you don't have a list of risk factors, where will you create solutions and backup for your risk? You need to understand the risk factors to de-risk. Risk is a very important thing in startups. High risk. Especially technology startups, higher the risk. Or perishable items business, higher the risk. Now, look into the research and get real into the market pulse. Until and unless you don't go and talk to people, until and unless you don't go and talk to the customers, until and unless you don't go and do a customer and market research, you will not get the real data. Otherwise, you will be in a data like what I think is right. That is a typical entrepreneur mindset. It is required. That confidence and gut feeling is required. Without that confidence and gut feeling that my product is fantastic, you cannot be an entrepreneur. But with that, be careful. You need to have research attached with it. When you have research attached with it, you get the risk factors and you can de-risk. You can fantastically go very cool into the market and launch the product. Now you need to understand where to position your product or service in the market. Whether you're going premium, whether you're going economical. I think in the last session we looked at, are we launching premium, discount, competitive pricing? We need to understand that. To understand where we need to position our product or service, we need to prepare a business plan. It's a roadmap for all stakeholders. All of us who are here now, majority of us are thinking someone will sign a check and give you for your great startup. Yes, if you want a check from the investors, please remember, you need to give them a roadmap for all the stakeholders. You need to give a roadmap of the customers. You need to give a roadmap of technology. What technology will change in the next 5 to 10 years, and how will your product change? How will your product change as per the customer's requirements? Now, where will you get the skill and non-skill human resources? You need professionals for that. You need experts for that. You need tech experts. You need market experts. You need people management experts. You need delivery experts. You need operations experts. There's so many experts required. Where will you get from? Until you don't have a roadmap, you will not. Financial. Finance is the blood of your body, is the blood of your organization. Where to pump, how much, at what time, I need to know. In my body, if I need to run, then I need to give a command to my mind so that I get up and then run. And the whole body, my legs take a larger blood circulation and energy. The same way, when you do a proper financial planning and a roadmap, you will exactly know in these lean months how much to invest, in peak months how much to invest, in the launch how much to invest, in the customer acquisition how much to invest, in customer service how much to invest. And when we have a proper financial plan which gives us the cost structures and the revenue structures, we can match the fund requirement so that it runs smoothly. Fine. Yes, the roadmap is required for strategic partners who are going to be the investors and bankers, who are going to be your OEMs and suppliers if you're in manufacturing. Please understand, without a roadmap, you cannot sell your business plan or a concept. No one will write a check for you. Now, when we talk about the roadmap, it has to be incorporated in the business plan. Fine. I am going to run a video of brutal focus now. Fine. Now, why I ran this story? Because it's easy to get out of focus. It's very easy to get out of focus. Now, to achieve something, your focus is nothing but your goal. To reach the goal, you need to be self-motivated. You need to be inspired. And beyond that, you need to be very clear to plan meticulously every day. Every day, what you're going to do. You need to be very clear. That means every day's planning is important. For 8 years or 12 years, if he has continuously worked, imagine his everyday planning to get 2 Olympics gold medals and make a record. Now, you want to be a unicorn and you want to make it big, you have an opportunity. You need to decide what you have to do today. You become your own inspiration. And for that, planning is the key. Now, to move further to your business, to your startup, to your idea, you need to get into the business plan. Now, what I would request is, take this business plan importance and thought process to yourself for a week. Then let's see and run through the business plan template in the next week. The team of MIA, we will share you a template of business plan. I want each and every one of you to run through the business plan template, understand whatever best is possible, and if you have your idea or a startup, you must have done a small PPT. Then from there, you moved into business model canvas, where you put in all the 9 parameters. From those 9 parameters, you quickly looked into the viability and feasibility, and you had a SWOT analysis done. So till now, what we did was creation of ideas, making you prepare your small presentation, then come out with a SWOT, then come out with a business model canvas. We were making you learn slowly, step by step. Now we are taking you to the last planning stage of business plan. Now, this is the key. After this session, webinar is over, for all the group members, we will share the business plan template. Please, in the next 1 week, run through it and put in as best as possible all the data. The business plan consists of 360 degrees approach of what all we have been discussing. Now, once whoever has completed the business plan can send the business plan to us. We will evaluate in the next webinar, next Saturday. Now, we close today with a thought process of planning and business plan are the key for your success. A right business plan is the beginning of a good start. Fine. Safina ma'am, all for you today because you wanted a lot of time for Q&A. Q&A time is there for you. Safina ma'am there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Thank you very much. I'm
Thank you so
open for
much.
Q&A.
Yes, so before we could go to the Q&A, I would like to have a small discussion with all the audience here. How many of you find it's very interesting that we are doing this series? I would want you to come back to the chat box and type how many of you think that this is really a very interesting series that we are running. Right, indeed, it was an amazing sessions we have been doing through, right? So with this, I have one small assignment for all of you to do. And whatever the completion of the series that we have done until now, okay, so the first one, the second one, and the third one, okay, come back to the chat box and type what are your 3 top learnings that you have taken from each session. The top 3 learnings from the session. And the people who come back to the chat box and participate in this, you guys have some of the amazing surprises by end of all the series. So participate. Your top 3 learnings. Maybe if you could ask me, like I say, like 5% idea and 95% execution. Most of the time when the entrepreneurs and the startups, okay, whenever we want to share something to someone, okay, we find it like if I share, what happens? People will copy that and they start doing that business, right? We had this mindset, but for me, I have learned, okay, so no matter whatever it is, the idea is just 5% because execution is very important. Like that, what are all the top 3 learnings that you had? I would give 5 minutes. 5 minutes, top 3 learnings. Let's see how much you have been able to do this. Okay, idea, planning, business. Okay, and I request my team member Mars to please have a look onto all of these things. So the people who are participating, let's give them some kind of a surprise. Right, dream, visualize, business planning. How many of you did understand today sir was covering when you wanted to give the check, what is it that you do? Simple. I ask you, like, I need 1 lakh rupees. Will you just give me 1 lakh rupees just because I'm your good friend? No, right? So you need a reason for you to give me the check. Just like that, how many of you are here, the entrepreneurs and the business owners, are ready to give the check and ready to receive the check? If you want to give the check, what is it that you are looking? And if you want to receive the check, what is it that you are looking? Yes. Okay. Yes, that was an amazing. To get a check, we need to have a good revenue model and complete business plan. And how many of you really having a complete business plan, business canvas model? Jilani sir, are you just going through the chat box? Like we are able to receive a lot of the responses, like what people have really been taking away from the sessions?
I am there live seeing everyone.
Yes.
And if all these folks come up with the whole process, what we are going through,
Right.
or running the webinar series, I think it will be a long list for writing the checks for MIA.
Right. So this is the power of MIA. Like we are here to empower you. We are here to handhold you, and we are here to coach you. So with this, now I would like to open this forum for your Q&A sessions. And I encourage all the participants to please come with as many questions as possible. So as other people can respond to the questions, I already have received 2 questions and I would like to go ahead. And the people who participated in this small quiz, and I'm very thankful, and we have taken all the data and we will give you the surprise and as discussed and as promised by end of all the series. So stay tuned. with us for all the 6 series. Thank you. So the first question is how to, so for the benefit of a common man, could you please elaborate what is brick and what is mortar?
Brick and mortar.
Yes.
Okay, right. Now, we had Kirana shops. Kirana shops were there at the corner of every street, every locality, every residential area. Am I right?
Right.
The Kirana stores existed, but the big basket started off there, and people were staying next to the Kirana store in the next street. They were not buying from the Kirana store, they were buying from an app of big basket.
Right.
So having a brick and mortar, that is brick and mortar is real shop. You can feel. I can get into a outlet. For example, I have Samsung outlet or mobile shop outlet. I go feel the product, fine. I can experience the product and I can buy it. There is a proper display. There are proper executives there in line, in blood and flesh. I can go to the shop and buy, feel, and get the product. But the products and the brands have standardized the product so much. If I buy a mobile in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, in Delhi, in Dubai, in London, anywhere I buy the product model is the same, because the globalization has taken the branded products throughout the world. I take an iPhone or a Samsung or a Nokia, whatever, I can get the product everywhere. I can get in real store in the corner of my house, and I can get it online. Now comes online. Online is nothing but on the net, on the web, on the mobile. I can order the product at 20% lesser the price than what the local shop is giving. Now, who is going to be a winner here? By an app, I am ordering the product at a lesser cost. The same product, I am getting it delivered at my doorstep. Whereas a local outlet, I need to go there within this to this time, and I need to pick up the mobile and come back by paying 20% more than what I can get. Now, that is where the online business wins. Now, further, that is the difference between brick and mortar and online business. Now, further to go on, we have almost like Flipkart, a successful organization, a company, Amazon, very successful. Then we had Reliance stores, the biggie of India. The Reliance had so many stores, but they were all in brick and mortar. Now they have come up with online presence. With online presence, with brick and mortar, giving the same discounted price is a bigger challenge for smaller outlets. So what we have realized is we need to have real-time outlets, and also we need to have that outlet's website, mobile app, or tie up with Swiggy, or tie up with Zomato, or tie up with Flipkart, or tie up with Amazon. Some tie up has to be there for online presence. Fine. If we don't have, sorry, there's an electricity cut, but still I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So, where was I? So, it is like we need online, and also we need to have real-time stores. For that, we call it as brick and mortar and real-time online. I think you got the difference between these.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, sir. And the person who asked this question, I'm sure the answer is being reached out. And the next question is, do all the business fail which are imitated? It doesn't think so. Many have succeeded. What's your opinion, sir?
Repeat the question.
I repeat, do all the business fail which are imitated? Doesn't think so. Many of them have already succeeded. What's your opinion?
See, they will start with imitation. Let's understand. They will start with imitation, but as you move forward, they need to have technology, they need to have products, they need to have disruption in the market, they need to be successful to deliver. Only then, if I'm right, they can move forward.
Right.
You can start imitating, but if you want to be long term, you need to be a fantastic organization where you started with imitating, but you have grown into a new company, new product. 90% of the companies, whoever they start, they don't stick to the business for what they started. After 5 years, they will land in something else.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. That was very well answered. Okay. In a business which is already running on a set of plans and ideas, suppose broadening its product base may change the initial idea of a business. How do we handle?
Repeat the question.
Yeah. In a business which is already running on a set of plans and ideas, suppose broadening its product base may change the initial idea of a business, and how do we handle it?
As I told you, 90% of the businesses don't stick to their business over a period of 5 years. They have to change. You cannot stick to your idea of what you have started for long. The markets change, the customer requirements change. Fine. Your internal dynamics change. You would have started because you have limitation of financial resources. But as we move forward, you would have built financial resources. That is the reason you wouldn't have been sticking to your old business. You may try for something new. If I'm right, Ola was not started for Ola services. Ola was started as an IT services company. Paytm was not started for Paytm services. It was started as another product company. So please understand, when you start, your resources and your market requirements are limited. That is why you get into certain business. As you move forward, the markets change, the customer's requirement change, your financial strength changes, technology changes. So you would have got matured as an organization. Automatically, you will broaden your products and services and get into new areas. And that is bound to happen. If you're not doing that, then there's something wrong in you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. What is the core of business planning?
Core of business planning.
Yes.
Core of business planning is research, design thinking and customer empathy, creating a roadmap for all your stakeholders. That's it.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Do investors give more importance to revenue model, more profits or viability? I mean, what will attract them more?
The investors will look into first the team. Who are you?
Yes.
The people are the most important for any investor,
Yes.
because if the market changes, if the industry changes, if the product fails, if the market dynamics change, it is only the people who create the change. So for us, first comes, for the investment world, first comes are the people. Next comes, like, what is that they are giving? Is it a pain or a gain or a solution? Commitment and integrity towards their own startup and product, and the passion. So these are the important factors which we look at. When investors come in, they are also experts, they are also professionals. They will help you build your organization or rebuild your product and service.
All right. Good. In a business plan, is in a business plan good for an investor's deck, or this differ? If yes, what way they differ?
Repeat.
Is business plan good for an investor's deck or to differ?
Business plan and investors deck.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's understand. Investors deck is also a business plan. Investors deck has a complete detailed financials.
Hmm?
Focus is on return on investments,
Hmm?
and business plan is a overall holistic, which has also roadmap of technology, roadmap of markets, roadmap of HR. It has business plan is a bigger set.
Okay.
Investors deck is focused towards only the investors.
Yes.
When they invest, what is that they get in back?
Yeah.
That is the focus of investors deck. Now, investor deck also is a business plan. What all you cover in business plan, you need to cover in investors deck. But the focus is more on return on investment, profitability, costs, and revenues, and the value which is being created over years. So more focus is on financial.
All right. How frequently do we need to look at our business plan to improvise on it?
If you are a startup, every month.
Yes.
If you
That
are a
is
startup, if you are a startup less than 1 year, every month. If you are a startup if you are a startup between 1 to 3 years, every 2 months. If you are a startup more than 3 years, every quarter.
Thank you. When we discuss with a VC or an angel investors, how do we negotiate our percentage of shares? What is the general thumb rule going in the market now?
The thumb rule differs from the
Business.
team members, from the market potential, from the technology, from the industry, from the geography. So there is no thumb rule. My neighbor may get a bigger valuation than me.
Okay.
The same product or company may have a different valuation in Bombay. It may have a different valuation in Bangalore. That is why a lot of startups land up in Bangalore, because the valuations are different.
All right. So okay. So probably we can take this question in case if you want to know more details about the VC and the angel investors, please get in touch with our team, because again, it depends on the business to business, and we won't be able to discuss this in the forum. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I relate this question as a startup, we are nobody. If investor look for a people, we are a newbie and we are nothing. We have only an idea and a plan roadmap.
If you have an idea and a roadmap without a proof of concept, or without you getting into the market, or without getting into testing the product, without your own investment, only an idea and a paper plan is of no interest to any investor.
That's good. What are the parameters which should make us look at our plan once we are into business?
What are the parameters which we need to look on once you're
What
in
are the
business?
parameters? Yes, yes.
Now, this is like a textbook question.
Right.
Now,
And
what are the, I would request you better run through all the webinar series of ours. You will come
yes,
to know the parameters.
yes. And also after this, the business plan that we will be business plan template that we will be sharing it with you.
Yes.
All right. And everyone has a coach. Who is your coach, sir, if you wish to share? I think this is not the platform that we could share.
No. I will share. I will share.
All right. Yeah.
May I know the name who is?
Abdul Mukid.
Okay, wait. I have a professor in IIM Bangalore, Professor Ramesh, and he's an ex-bureaucrat, and he heads the Department of Public Policy and Management, and he runs a program for all these IAS officers and IPS officers. So he's the dean, very senior professor, and he's my coach.
All right. Thank you so much.
Every 3 months to 4 months, I need to go and sit in front of him, and I get bambooed enough.
Okay. Can you be my coach? I have a startup.
You send the details, we can look into it.
Yes. Our investors who look at our plan and the roadmap from industry sector, the bank people who fund us.
Come again.
Our
Repeat the question.
investors who look at our plan and the roadmap from the industry sector or from the bank people who fund us.
Bank does not fund. Bank gives you loan. And whoever are the investors who will come in, these are from the industry.
Yes, thank you, sir. Mas, please share the email ID in the chat box so that people can send their details and the requirements that they are looking out from our side. Yeah, so with this, I think we have covered all the questions. In case if I have missed out any questions, please post it again so that I don't miss out anything, because today we had a lot of feedbacks, the overwhelming responses we had. Okay, so I would like to multiply my existing into 6 times. What are the tools available?
What is your existing? We don't know.
Yes. Existing business. Yes, you need to tell us what's your business.
No, that's a very vague question. No worries.
Yes.
If they tell us what is the business, where they are service providing of what?
Yes.
See, let's understand. You ask a question, I want to multiply 6 times on a chat box, will be of no help. It's a combination of people, technology, service, delivery, your background, your customer segment, your revenue plan, how unique is your product, your team. So it's a combination of all for you to take it to the 2 level, 3 level, 4 level, 6 level. So until unless you don't have a business plan given to us or a proof of concept, or until we don't see a startup, we will not be in a position to support you. Definitely, we are here to support. Please share.
Yes, you can share the email. Okay, when should we look for hand-holding?
Hand-holding, when you should look at. First, do your business plan, then we will look into it, what we can do. Without a business plan, absolutely, it is waste of time.
Yes. So do you have any more questions to our participants? Do you have any more questions? Did I miss out any question? Okay. Thank you so much for all the participants. Okay, so can we have sir's email address?
Yeah, my address is my address.
Yes. Thank you so much for all the participants and staying with us. And I hope you have been enjoying all our weekend series. And let's connect in the next week. And before we could close, I wanted to give one simple assignment. We have been attending 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we are coming, we are on the 4th series now. I wanted all of you to think what can go worst when you don't do what you have attended till now.
You're giving all dangerous.
What can go worst when you don't do of what you have attended until now? Think with this, sleep, and I'm sure when you wake up in the morning, all of you will be in the process that I need to prepare my business canvas model. I need to prepare my business template, and as well as all the assignments and the task which has been given to us, right? Please share the session recording as soon as possible. Yeah, so we are sharing our our session recordings every Wednesday. And in case if you have not joined our WhatsApp group, please drop in your contact details, or I request Mars to please drop the WhatsApp link so the people who are not in the WhatsApp can join in the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. And I request all the participants to please, if you have any questions, you can stay back and ask the questions. And the people who don't have any questions, you are free.
I think there are no questions. So we close.
Yes. Yes. So thank you so much for joining
Thank you very much.
us. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And next week, we are running through the whole business plan template. It will be shared with you now, probably tomorrow or day after. By Monday, you will get the business plan template. You can start filling in just like the business plan canvas. Whoever have completed the business plan canvas, please share with us for further evaluation. If you have completed business model canvas or business plan canvas, please take the data in detail into business plan. This is what I would request. And also, please share on WhatsApp group or email what more sessions you expect from us, what titles you need or what topics you need. Please share with us what type of sessions you require to handhold you and support startups and new businesses to take it forward. Five of the series we are completing. There is one webinar session, if I'm right, more on the branding, basics of branding. And beyond that, if you have anything on mind, please share what sessions you want, what topics you want, what hand holding you want. Please share with us so that we can support.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Yeah, so when is our next session? Our next session is on next Saturday, that is October 3rd, and we will be connecting same at 9 p.m. Okay, and you will be given the further details. Okay, I wanted to review the previous recordings. How do I access them? Please help. If you are not there in the WhatsApp group, okay, so we shall add you in the WhatsApp group, or otherwise you can just go to the YouTube channel, Safina Nas. You can subscribe there and you find all the details. Okay, it's Safina Nas. You can find all the channel, I mean, all the videos there. You can just subscribe to the channel and you can just watch all the previous recordings. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. I think we can close the meeting for the day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate. I'm logging out.
Thank you. Take care. Have a good day and lovely weekend and with a lot of assignments.